What is up, guys? It is Pizza Master Knight here, and in this video I am going to be telling you guys the top 10 PlayStation 1 games that I absolutely regret buying. So yeah, it's top 10 PlayStation 1 games that I absolutely regret buying, and I'm also going to tell you guys this right now, just to get this right off the bat. I do have Bubsy 3D, and Bubsy 3D is not in here. I honestly thought it was a lot better than what people had said of it. Okay, it wasn't great, but I don't regret buying it. I'm glad I bought Bubsy 3D, although it was not a great game overall. It was very, very medium to kind of low, but it was not as bad as some of these games on this list. Anyway, let's get started. So the top 10, and this is not in any order. I just put this in a random order because there's no real one that's less than the other or more than the other, whatever you want to say. Just 10 games that I wish I would have bought something else. So, number 1, Blasto. Now, this may seem as a surprise, but Blasto, honestly, it was not as great as I thought it was going to be. It's a very okay game. If I could go back and prevent myself from buying it, I would. The reason for that is because the price did not match up with the gameplay. Copies of Blasto are now go for like $30, $35, and it's just not worth it to me personally. I mean, if this game was $5, it probably wouldn't even be on this list. But the price is just not worth it for the actual game. Next up, we got Putter Golf. This was probably one of the lamest golf games, if not the lamest golf game I've ever played. There's just not a lot you can do with this game. Hot Shots Golf is so much better. If you have Hot Shots Golf, I don't know why you would want to get this game. This game was just not any fun at all. Spec Ops Covert Assault. Again, another game that was just not fun. Well, maybe it was just the first level, but that actually kind of looks better. It looks better than what it is. It looks better than what it is. Pong, the next level. This game was literally impossible to get the controls just right. There's a lot of unfair advantages that the CPU has in this game, and it's just not fun. It's not any fun. There's a lot of repetition in this game, and it's overall not fun. And next up, we got the Bombing Islands. This game was interesting. I honestly really liked the animation and the character style. But this game, if you guys know, it's a puzzle game where we have to figure out these puzzles, and it is extremely hard to figure out. It was just not my thing at all. There's so many levels to it. It gets boring and confusing and difficult really quickly. Now, this also may come as a surprise to you guys because I just did an unboxing of this game. Creatures Raised in Space. So now the reason why I really didn't care for Creatures Raised in Space is because it is a lot more confusing than the original Creatures game. Picture the original Creatures, but 1,000 times more confusing. Yeah, so why you don't really need to buy both Creatures games. Buy the original Creatures games. The original Creatures game is a lot more fun. It's a lot less confusing. It even has a tutorial mode. But the original Creatures is way better than the sequel. X-Blades Inline Skater. So this is a skating game. Whenever it comes to skating games, a lot of people gave Razor Freestyle Scooter very bad reviews. But in my opinion, it was a million times better than X-Blades Inline Skater. This is the worst skating game I've ever played. It is absolutely the worst of the worst. This is the bottom of the barrel in skating games. Another Spec Ops game, not that great. Oh my gosh, Rascal. Okay, this was one of the worst. I have never had a game that was so confused, like the controls were so difficult. This is the worst controlled game ever. This has the worst controls of any game I've ever played. I would not buy Rascal again. I mean, I'm not kidding. I would not buy that game again. And you guys have probably figured out what the last one was. Croc, Legend of Gobos. This one had some poor controls. Yes, I do understand that it is an old 3D platformer, but it did have some very poor controls. And there was just parts of the game that were very difficult. It advertises it as a game for younger learners or for younger players. So I thought whenever I bought Croc, I thought, oh, this is going to be an easy game. I'm going to be able to whip through this in maybe 2 days, 2 afternoons, and I'll have another game to add to my list. No, this game is not for younger players unless there are geniuses out there that play video games. Like, you know what I mean. But anyway, this is not a game for younger players. This is a very, very difficult game. I found it very difficult. I never beat it. I got to the last level, but there's this one like whirly slide that I just cannot get past. I lost like 40 lives, and I was just like, you know what? I'm done. I'm not gonna spend all my time. Like, there comes a point where it's just like when you spend so much time on one game, it's just like I would rather play another game. You know, like it's just kind of be like I would rather just spend my time focusing on another game than doing this one level over and over and over and over and over and over again. And yeah, that's pretty much my top 10 list of games that I regret buying. But in the end, I'm glad that I'm glad that I have these games. I'm glad that I have. I'm glad that these games added to the quantity of my games. Although I just wish that there were different games that I chose to spend my money on. But that's all I wanted to say. So thanks guys for checking out this video. Hope you all enjoyed it. I hope to see all you guys in my next video. Later.